Welcome to Sage-Based Wisdom. I'm Jana Schmieding.
I'm Brian Bahe.
And we're podcasting to you from the sacred homelands of Walt Disneyland.
Today, we'll be giving you, our listeners, some advice cultivated indigenously from our backgrounds in I Spy with My Little Eye.
And surveillance systems on our cell phones.
If you're a frequent listener and want even more of us in your life, consider becoming an official Wise Ass member by going to sagebasedwisdom.com/sagebasedwisdom.supercast.com.
Please become a Wise Ass, y'all. It helps us out a lot. It helps us pay our beautiful baby boy, John, our producer. And it's sort of like how I am making my living right now is by your generous contribution of $5 a month because I don't have a job. This is like this, and podcasting feels like a job sometimes. You know,
you got to clock in.
You got to clock in, and I know John can, as he's munching on that Uncrustable over there. I know John, he's doing a lot. He's doing the most for us, and it's the best. But we gotta keep food on John's table.
We got to keep our boy fed.
We got to keep our boy fed with Uncrustables.
Because he's also feeding those cats, those feral cats in his neighborhood.
Yeah, he's feeding the feral cats. We gotta help out those feral cats in John's neighborhood. Bri?
Uh-huh.
Have you gotten any advice lately just off the gram? Because you're kind of like not being online lately, and I appreciate that about you, but what's been going on?
You mean, have I been getting anything? Yeah, I feel like there was something recently about, I think this was on Instagram. I am slowly turning into Instagram Reels person, which is...
oh my God, you're getting older.
I'm getting older.
And
it's crazy.
I'm getting younger, but I'm also, I don't know. TikTok is, I think it's becoming bad surveillance vibes on TikTok. I think that's under new ownership now, and they're going to start using TikTok to find immigrants to arrest.
I mean, 100%. I'm honestly shocked that it's taken this long in a way. I'm sure
they've been sort of using it, but
right.
It's getting real bad. Palantir vibes.
They're like, we've sold all of the fucking, deer bone that we can sell to people that are looking to buy that we now just need to start using all of the data we've been collecting to capture people. That being said, I feel like I saw something very recently that was meaningful to me because I think it was in the context of dating, which is that it was like you attract what you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And I was like,
ooh.
And I was like, that is interesting because what I want is
Mitt Romney.
But what
Gavin Newsom.
But what I am is kind of not Mitt Romney vibes. So I'm like, okay, so I have to be Mitt Romney.
No.
I'm not trying to date Mitt Romney.
I know. I'm joking. What are you trying to date?
I think I'm trying to date a person with a car.
Okay, Brian?
Yeah.
I do want to say really quick, though, that it's not about you changing yourself to be the person you're trying to attract.
Right.
That's not what the advice is saying.
Yeah.
It's saying, look for a person that is more like you.
Huh.
Right?
I guess that you can interpret it that way. I interpreted it as you kind of have to live your best life. I feel like there are people that are like, I want this thing, but it doesn't align with like what they are or
how I'm living at all.
How they actually want to live. I think it's kind of pushing you to be like, okay, you need to take stock of what your life is and what you're doing. And is that actually, are you there? are you actively pursuing your goals in a way?
It's sort of like an incel, so sort of being like, oh, I think women are such stupid bitches, and I hate them, and I think that they're worthless, but secretly in their heart of hearts, all they want to do is get their D touched by a woman who loves them. And instead of just going out and like living a life that might allow a woman to touch their D, they're sort of just staying online and like being closeted and whatnot.
Absolutely. So that is where I am right now. And on that topic, we discussed at length, I'm getting a truck.
Oh, yes, I'm so glad you brought it up, Brian. We're gonna talk more about it on our October Wise Ass full episode that's coming out at the end of the month.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So I am just gonna like let that episode and the audio from that episode be our Wise Ass episode.
Okay.
But for our regular listeners, I think we need to adequately prepare them for this new era in your life, which I'm calling Brian's uncle era.
I mean, I'm getting a truck. I'm going to get into a lot of outdoor sporting activities, I think.
Oh my God. I'm wet just thinking about it. Ew, I'm sorry I said that. That's horrible.
That's just who I am now these days.
You're getting up. Let's talk about the pickup though. The pickup is like a huge step. First of all, when we went to the Bishop powwow last weekend, Brian bought 2 pairs of boots at a 3.
2.
3? 2.
2. 2 pairs of boots at a kind of consignment thrift outdoor consignment store that would only exist in Bishop. And 2 pairs of boots to add to my like collection of 4-ish already cowboy boots. But it's just like I feel like I am turning into a native uncle in a way. We got the boots, we got the truck, we got the nipple piercing, we got.
Wait, you don't have the nipple piercing yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. Because that will be next level uncle vibes. But
icing on the cake.
I feel like the boots and the pickup and sort of your cowboy hat was, to me, I was like, oh my God, Brian, you're becoming this Brokeback version of this like whole new Brian that I feel is actually who you are, because you are sort of a cowboy. You were raised with horses, like you're a horse boy.
I've been riding since I was 4 or 5 maybe.
That's
and
nuts.
So it feels so right, and I feel like everything is like pushing me in this direction, and I'm like it feels like a natural, feels like a glove that is a perfect fit.
Just like O.J. Simpson. What also, like, the truck of it all is you're sort of like inheriting it in a way. Your father passed. Is it 1 year ago now? 2 years ago?
Yeah, a little more than a year.
And he has this big white, like, what kind of truck is it?
It's like a Dodge Ram.
Dodge Ram is a big
pretty
rig.
Big, meant for pulling a horse trailer. So
it's a real. We're not talking about some little mini Toyota Tacoma here. This is a fucking hauling pickup truck that Brian will be cruising around Los Angeles in.
Yeah, getting all kinds of parking tickets, I'm sure.
All kinds of parking tickets and all kinds of dick. Okay, you know what? It's like, I think everybody's kind of in this moment where like country's cool and like Beyonce's doing it, and like, country music's like having a moment in pop culture for sure, but also like everybody's pretending to be a cowboy. But Bri, you're the real deal.
I'm living it.
You're the real deal. What's your go-to karaoke song, Bri?
I thank you for asking. I feel like I want it to be Driver's License, Olivia Rodrigo.
Mm-hmm.
And
what is the reality of it?
It's like I can do it in a way, but my vocal range does need to be a little bit expanded in order for me to hit some of those notes.
Yeah.
And the only reason I want that as my karaoke song is because one time I got in an Uber and I was just like sitting there. There was like, you know, the driver was playing some music. But then driver's license came on. And it was almost as if I wasn't in the car with her anymore. And she just like sang it so passionately in a way that like I was like, oh, she needs to be singing this right now. And then it was like beautiful. And I was just like staring at her the entire time. And then the song just ended and the car drive just like continued normally.
You didn't say anything?
I didn't say anything. I wanted her to have that moment.
Oh.
And I think about that all the time.
Wow. It's a great song. I love that song.
Yeah, it's good.
But I think your karaoke, I think your wheelhouse to sort of like fit into your uncle vibe. Maybe try on some Hank Williams. Maybe try on some Garth Brooks.
So you're saying go full cowboy.
Full cowboy. Like and also those men have a nice baritone. They're sort of like down a little bit down low, you know, and they got the old country twang.
Okay, I'm into this. I'm going to do some research and come back to you. What's your karaoke song?
Oh, I go straight for fucking old school Mariah. I like to do Vision of Love. Or sometimes I like to whip out Heart, the song Alone by Heart.
Because you actually do have vocal range, I feel like.
I think it's definitely been degraded over years of not sort of keeping up with my vocal exercises, but I was, you know, I've always been a good vocalist and singer, and I did train in high school and college and sort of honed the skill. But I still have nightmares about my choir classes.
What, because they were so traumatizing?
Not they were traumatizing, but like I have nightmares about math class, and isn't there? I can't say they're nightmares. I'm not like like rattled awake, but like they're kind of unprepared, and I don't know what I'm doing because in my choir classes in high school we learned how to read music and stuff, and it was like real legitimate like choir stuff, and so I feel like in my dreams I'm going to choir and I'm like, I don't know the song, but I'm gonna try to sight read this music and follow along, and like, you know, you have parts, there's like soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and then within there's sometimes you know, so it's a lot, but anyway, I go hard at karaoke. I try to do like 3 songs really well, and the rest I'm just fucking around.
You're almost giving Native Sister Act vibes in a way.
Oh God, I love fucking Sister Act.
That's my shit.
Joyful, joyful life. Oh yeah. I have a horrible algorithmic fucking clip today. It's just the worst of the worst, but and you're gonna hate it, and I actually do hate it too, because like I said in a prior episode, the algorithm has been dark.
Yeah, I see that.
So let's pull up that clip, John.
Is the Good Wife's Guide, how you can be a good wife to your partner. I'm not forcing this down your throat to tell you to do this or don't want to do it, then don't. Skip this video. But I'm telling you what works. And have dinner ready on the table. Never let your man go hungry. A man's heart truly is through their stomach, so make sure you cook for them and make sure they're not hungry. 2, take care of yourself. Meaning, don't let yourself go, okay? The guy you fell in love with, that's who he wants. Tidy yourself up. Make sure you shower, brush your hair, just make sure your appearance is pleasant and nice. So we're humans, you don't have to do this all the time, obviously. Basically, you want to be his breath of fresh air. Be happy and excited to see him. Been at work all day, stressed out, the last thing he wants to do is come home to a grumpy or sad wife. Or tidy up the house. Okay, I know, it shouldn't be all on you, the chores should be shared, but if you want your man to come home to you and be happy, make it a good environment for him to come home to. Don't complain so much. Don't be drama. Your man wants to come home to you, not drama. The drama for your girlfriends or a time when you're out to brunch with them. Men don't want that. They want to enjoy you and your pleasantness. Last disclaimer, I'm not saying you have to do these things. I'm just saying it works. Believe me or not, I don't care. Do with this information what you want. Bye.
Trad wife advice for how to be a good wife. Brian, I've fallen into an algorithmic hellscape.
That's pretty dark. It's crazy because she is so young, and it's like, who to want to do those things when you're like 22 feels so crazy to me. It's like you should be
hoeing it up. Absolutely.
Cooking for somebody at 22 feels crazy.
I mean, unless it's cooking for yourself and you're cooking quesadillas at 2 a.m. because you stumbled home drunk and you have leftover packets of mild sauce from Taco Bell. Girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? Also, this bitch is an absolute liar, because if you have time to sit in a car and give advice about being a good trad wife, you have a job. I'm sorry to say it, but you actually do have a paying job.
Yeah.
You're getting, this is like the, Erica Kirk, sort of line of, trad wife, where she's a entrepreneur who has been basically working and hustling her entire young adulthood. And then she comes on her late husband's podcast and says, ladies, you need to stay home and take care of your man. And it's like, girl, honey,
let's
the
get
hypocrisy. Yeah, you're working a full-time job and then some. So anyway, I can't believe that this came across my fucking feed.
It's tough. It's dark.
It's dark. Who's out here feeding your man? I mean, I am okay. Like, this is the confessions of a secret trad wife right now. Mm-hmm. I am feeding my man. And I feed him good-ass food. But you know why? Because I feed myself good-ass food. And when he's here, I will cook for both of us. I cook for you guys when you come over to podcast. Do I not? Am I not the most dope-ass trad wife you've ever had in your life, honey? I'm cooking you baked-ass goods up in this
You're
house.
incredible.
I'm
doing the
cooking
Lord's work.
I'm doing food. I'm putting food in my men's mouths, okay? But that's because I'm also putting food in my fucking mouth. I put food in my mouth first. Mm-hmm. And it yummy. It has nothing disgusting past these lips. I always eat the delicious food. But I share my food.
Yes.
But to be like, it needs to be ready. Oh, here's the part I really fucking disagree with. Be pleasant. Don't bring drama to your man's life. Are you kidding me? Men love drama. Men are obsessed with drama. Men want to be in the drama so bad they're causing it on their own.
They're causing it. They want to be a part of it, but then they hate it when they are a part of it in a way.
They pretend to hate it, but honey, did you see Pete Hegseth go in front of all of the men of the military, our top brass in our military, and say, "No fatties, girls"?
No, I didn't see that at all.
Did it?
No.
Brian. Pete Hegseth, our Department of Defense reality TV star Fox News host, who is trying to recoin the Department of Defense as the Department of War. Girl, you're gay. You can't just go around naming shit, Pete.
That is so
You
crazy.
fucking alcoholic. He had the balls. He had the balls to call a meeting of the top military brass. He pulled them from their posts around the world. I'm saying like the top generals of all of our military branches. Uh-huh. He pulled them in for a top secret fucking meeting, and it was this 200 of our top military officials. Not only is it a security risk to do this, by the by, Pete Hegseth, this loser, is bringing so much drama to the doorsteps of our professional military, trained professional military. All he said in his little TED talk to our fiercest warriors. He said, "Guys, we got too many fatties in our ranks. We got fat soldiers, and some of even y'all, the top military, you're putting on too many pounds. We need to trim the beard and start to slim down."
That is crazy.
No fats, no femmes, no Asians. It's giving grinder level advice that this twerp gave our top generals, and that's really it.
He's like, you guys need to go to Barry's boot camp.
He was like, Barry, let's tighten it up, girls.
Let's tighten it up. I want you all in crop tops. I want you all in fucking abs.
Ozempic. Let's get some Ozempic up in here.
Let's get some cum gutters.
And I need all of you to start putting, you're too tight. Get some butt plugs. And then he just left. And then Donald Trump came out and just kind of barfed out a bunch of gibberish to these generals. And that's the level of drama that these men in our government are bringing to our doorsteps. They are just thirsty for fucking drama. They're tweeting at people, and Gavin Newsom, Zaddy on the left, I guess, liberal Zaddy, is right there. He's coming back with the memes and the fucking AI. All these men are just these. The drama is it's never been louder on display.
This is wild.
This is wild. And this trad wife has the gall to be like, don't bring drama to our men. Girl, they're asking for it. They're bringing drama to us. I dare you to date a man and not have drama in your life. My life has never been more dramatic since I've been with Steve. It's goddamn the highs and the lows. And I love him. Ugh.
I do think sometimes straight men, they love to unload their drama on just a woman, because
the way that we are just the dumpsters.
It brings it out in a way that they're like, this is the best way to convey the drama. Is they're like, well, if I have giving it to a woman, then kind of
she can take it on. She likes it.
It's less gay in a way.
It's less gay. And you know what? Can I say something? Our gay men are doing it too. Yeah. But something that I can respect about our gay friends is sometimes they'll take the drama to each other. Sometimes.
As they should. Lean on each other, my guy. But straight men, they have no one. They're going directly to their wives and their girlfriends, and they are just they're throwing the biggest tantrums. They're just the biggest fucking queens. Mm-hmm. There is nothing gayer than being a straight man. There is nothing gayer. Yeah. The gayest.
You're the gayest. Shall we listen to a request for advice?
Let's do it.
Hi, Brian, Jana. I love your advice. So I'm recently single. I'm 28, and I just ended a 8.5-year long relationship, which has been really hard and sad, but the breakup was mutual and decently loving and productive. I'm not at all ready to hop into another relationship, but I kind of feel my dirtbag era approaching,
yes.
Which I haven't experienced yet in my life because I haven't been single since I was 19. When I would make out with gross boys at house parties and then never text them back. So for context, I live in a mid-sized city. I'm also queer, and I'm not really that worried about meeting people necessarily. But here's my question that I need advice on. How do you break the seal of 8.5 years of monogamy? How do you know that you're ready? Because I can't tell if I'm just being a hornball or if I'm actually ready to get out there. But maybe being a hornball is enough. I don't really want to get on the dating apps, but it seems like that might be the best way to find people casually without constantly going to bars. So I'm curious if you all have any tips. Also, this podcast has been a huge spot of levity for me in the last 2 months during my breakup. So thank you both for what you do.
Wow.
Wow.
Kind of love that.
I love that. I'm so into this question. I am so into this question. Aren't you, Bri?
I love it. I think step one is kind of almost in a way leave no stone unturned. I think, like, kind of give the apps a shot. Go out, do IRL, just kind of like go on a date, maybe go on a hookup, just like see how it all feels, and then you have plenty of time to assess. But just like
scorched earth almost.
Yeah, just do whatever you feel comfortable doing. There's no right or wrong answer. I feel like you can just kind of feel it out, suss it out. You're entering your Saturn returns, I feel like, age 28.
Ooh,
so it's kind of just like it's like a.
What is a Saturn return, Bri? You, the astrological sort of expert of the pod.
Saturn return it takes like Saturn, I think somewhere between 28 and 32 years to get to the same place in like space as it was when you were born. So it's like when you're turning like in your 28 through 32 year era, you're like Saturn is in the same place that it was when you were born.
It has returned.
So it's almost like a kind of like connecting a reset in a way, and it's usually pretty formative. So I kind of love that your horn dog era is coinciding with your Saturn returns.
Yeah, I do also feel like 8 years. I'm trying to think about what has happened in the dating world in the last 8 years and like looking at sort of the trends. And I do feel like maybe I'm wrong about this, Bri, but we are almost coming out of a app only era, you know? And I feel like the collective sentiment is, hey, let's try it out IRL.
You're actually right. This person actually is kind of entering I think it's a more interesting space. Everybody has kind of realized that the apps are trash.
Yeah.
But
the apps are trash, but I do feel like sort of if it's a hookup only, if it's like, especially if you're a queer person who's looking for whatever, I recommend a Field.
I was just literally going to say that. Field, you got to get on Field. There's so much stuff happening there. They're doing good things on Field.
They're doing great things on Field. They're doing literally everything on Field.
They're doing the Lord's work on Field. If you're gonna do one app, definitely do that. Skip Bumble entirely.
Hinge.
Hinge, honestly, maybe try out Hinge. I feel
Hinge is where I met Steve.
Of the apps that aren't Field, I think Hinge is kind of the second best. But is Hinge giving? Here's a question, because I talked to my friend Bridget yesterday. Shout out, and she was saying she has 2 Hinge dates coming up. So, and I think that sort of what I'm polling. So I met Steve on Hinge, and it turned into a long relationship. It's hopefully the last relationship I'll ever have. Is Hinge giving date like relationship vibes? Is Hinge the chemistry.com or almost like the eHarmony of now? I think it is. So I don't know if that's what this person's into, but honestly, going on a date isn't as high stakes as it's not. It's kind of just like dipping your toes in the pool of like whatever, I think, in a way.
Here is my so I wasn't, when I went out with Steve, when I joined Hinge almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, again, after I had stopped dating since Trump had become president in 2017. So I sort of took myself off the market, which is not the same as being in a monogamous relationship for 8 years, but it could be similar in a way. So I was like entering the dating pool after being single basically for like 12 plus years. Yeah. And I was looking at going on dates with people from Hinge or going on dates with people from anything as I'm going to try to make out with this person. I'm only going to go on dates with people that I'm like, I would make out with this person. Like, this seems like something that could end up in a make out. I was going in with, I was sort of like, it was make out forward. It was a sex forward approach to dating, where it was like, I'm actually only kind of looking for people to make out with. And if it turns into something more, then God bless. But like, can't wait to get that D.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to go into it. I think having a goal going in is cool. I think when you're just going on a date, you're just kind of like, yeah, let me just see what happens. Like, that's also not really that great. It's kind of, you want some type of goal, I feel like.
Yeah, and if I may, for this caller specifically, let the goal be hoeing it up.
Why not?
Why not? Because you're at least gonna find somebody to like make out with semi-frequently, you know, like that to me is like a great goal to have, is like consistent make out. Hell yeah.
And I was going to say, you were talking about things that have changed in the last 8 years. I think sexually, a lot of things have kind of broadened and become more...
Like what?
Just literally everything. It's no longer just missionary.
Yeah, so you're saying that we have almost become hoier
as a culture. I think
era.
we've become way hoier. And so I think that is something worth... If you're see what's going on in those realms.
That's true, because I will say that the my friend Bridge, who I need to just have on the pod because she has some of the most fun sexcapades of any friend that I have, is my age. She might be a year older than me, and so she's well into her 40s, and has sort of like been having a delightful time on field, just like having a new hoe era in her 40s, and trying things that she never really tried before, you know, and seeing what's going on, like expanding her own sort of sexual repertoire, if you will. Yeah. And that's been fun to learn about. She's been like, I have friends who are like, I'll be the third in a poly situation. Like I'll try it out. I'll go, I'll join your little couple because you're looking for somebody to add into the mix, not like as a relationship, but like for a hookup situation, you know. Like she's gone on those kinds of dates, and I'm like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Why not be the third? You got nothing. You got what have you got to lose? You're already sort of the dingleberry in the situation, so who fucking cares? You could just do whatever you want.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe a polycule's for you.
And you're just like, for one night, you could be the hot young thing, the hot new girl on the block.
The dream.
Have you ever been the third, Bri?
Yeah, a few times.
Oh, and what do you think of the experience?
I do love it because you are kind of just like the center of attention in a way. It's just like they're there in an ideal world. They know what the other person likes and wants, so they're just kind of like in service of that, and you're just kind of like there to be like, hey, I'm your instrument. Let me
play me. I'm your instrument. Play me, bitch. But it's never turned into like, this is a thing that's gonna be ongoing.
No, I think there was a little bit of that one time, and I was like, this actually isn't for me.
Okay.
At least not with that couple. It could be,
Yeah.
I could see it being a thing maybe with a different couple.
Well, you've said before, sort of your fantasy is to be the third, or to be the mistress, and then the man chooses you. you break up the marriage.
right. Yeah.
So this is a low key way of like playing out that fantasy in a more of a consensual agreement situation.
And hey, maybe that's what this is what is in the cards for this caller.
Oh. What a dream. Caller, the world is your oyster. Crack open that clam and dive in.
chuck
Chuck
that
away.
oyster wide open and fucking dig in there. Open your mouth and
Open your mouth and just guzzle it down.
put some sauce on it and
Sprinkle some
slurp it
lemon
up.
juice on there and maybe a little cocktail sauce, and you got yourself a stew.
Yes.
Go for a dive in that ocean. It's fishy. Okay, enough. And also, thanks for finding levity in this disgusting podcast, caller. I don't know why.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you do it. I think about 8 years. Think about this, Bri.
Yeah.
You're 19. You're on the precipice of your 20s. You're in your youth. You're still a girl. You're still a girl.
8 years is such. I'm thinking to myself 8 years ago, and I am like, it's such a different, not such a different person, but it is like a different version of yourself, and you are just like, let's fucking update the iOS in a way, and let's see what's up.
God, what's crazy is last night, I was hanging out with some friends, and we were talking about when each of us moved to LA, and next year in 2026, Bri,
Yeah.
will be my 10th year in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Isn't that that's so, to me, I still feel new. I feel new to the city. And I do feel sort of robbed because so much of my LA experience, I moved right in 2016 when Trump was becoming president for his first term. So I feel that was sort of like my whole time here has been so strange, but also like so many dreams achieved and unlocked and new skills and new learning, but also like the pandemic has happened, and it's giving 3 steps forward, 5 steps back, sort of.
Yeah. 10 years is not nothing. It's huge. Yeah.
It's so huge. So much has happened, and yet so little has happened here in LA.
Yeah.
Where were you 8 years ago? What was going on in your life?
I was like in New York. I was fucking just like really just like doing open mics, really just trying to feel out like what do I got? What's my comedic voice? Like, yeah, it was so just like fun, but also just like throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. And that was kind of a fun thing. Very self-discovery vibes.
Very self-discovery. Okay, now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Where were you when you were 19 years old? Were you out? Were you doing gay stuff yet?
I was not out. I was not doing gay stuff. I was at Arizona State University. I was trying to figure out what the vibe was in a way. It was like, okay, I'm at this school. I like know that I like want to like be creative and like do something, and I was just like, what are my options? And so I was like really into comedy. I don't know if I had taken an improv class at this point yet, but I definitely like was really interested in writing, and I think I was like obsessively like researching my favorite comedians and being like, what the fuck did they do when they were in college? How do I like, and then using that almost as like a map of like how I would navigate my college experience. I also like wanted a typical like state university party school type of vibe. So I like, my friend and I would just kind of like seek out, we were like definitely not cool to go to frat parties, but we just like went to whatever fucking parties were near us. And so it was like,
oh my God,
that type of shit. It was very just like so losery, but I loved every second of it.
True. It's so true. Okay, then now cut to you're 28.
Yeah, and then 28, out, horny as hell, fucking anyone and everyone, and just kind of like, taking the train at like 2 a.m. to like the West
Living in New York City.
Yeah, to just like hook up with a random stranger, and kind of loving that experience. And then And then, yeah, just like having just like this kind of like dual life of like, I am an office worker and I'm too embarrassed to tell the people that I work with that I'm like actively pursuing comedy every night. And then the other life, which was me actively pursuing comedy every night. And so, yeah. And then also just like trying to have as many life experiences outside of comedy that could inform what my comedy was. Yeah.
Amazing.
Fuck. And what were you at 19?
I must have been a freshman or sophomore in college, right?
Uh-huh.
That's like kind of where 19 is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was 18 early in my freshman year. Yeah, so I was a freshman, sophomore in college. I was living with 3 other women in a house off campus at the University of Oregon. I was smoking probably like 8 bong rips at least a day, and high functioning pothead, just
I love that.
barely scraping by emotionally, being just high as hell. I was studying theater though, so I couldn't be real stoned at school, but like on the weekends and at night it was just heavy. And I was also taking shots of like the cheapest spiced rum that you could take with my roommates. We were an absolute party house. My sister, Minnie, who has been on this podcast, I lived with her, and then Tasha, who lives in Canada now. So we lived, I was living an absolute party life. I was studying theater. I was learning about comedy. I was getting into improv, musical improv, actually. It was like sort of my entrance into improv, and I was so good at it. I was the youngest one in our group, and I was just like absolutely fucking nailing it all the time. It was just like the dream. I was smoking cigarettes. I was smoking, I don't know if you recall the cigarette brand called Honeybees, but there's kind of like honey flavored-ish. It wasn't heavy flavor, but I was smoking Honeybees and sort of American Spirit Yellow Pack, and just loving going to college. I loved learning. I loved being on campus. I was organizing, doing a lot of grassroots organizing. And I wasn't dating that much because I just wasn't. I had this massive crush on my friend Noah, and
Noah's a good name for a guy to have a crush on.
Oh, and
Noah's up there for me. If I meet a guy named Noah, I'm almost automatically on board.
Bri, when I tell you, he's still to this day the hottest babe in the land. And shout out Noah. He's just such a babe, and now he's a attorney. He works for the EPA. He's unfortunately straight, Bri. You cannot.
I don't care.
I know. I'll show you pictures of him. Noah got into a severe car accident my sophomore year of college, and he damaged his spinal cord and he became quadriplegic. He had a girlfriend at the time, but your girl was right at his bedside with smoothies and fucking talking to his mom and just being the best not girlfriend friend I could be, because I loved him. Not only did I love him as a friend, and he studied theater with me, and he is just like a wonderful person, but I was in love with him. So like, my friend Abby and I would just like we were just obsessed with Noah, but he always had the fucking worst taste in chicks, dude. And to this day, Noah, I hope you listen to this episode, because I gotta say, bud, reach higher. Reach higher, god damn it. But yeah, he's so fine and still is. He's in a wheelchair now, but is a fucking attorney, and it has struggled through so much adversity with his health, and but is a fucking babe, if there ever was one.
We love you, Noah.
Love you, Noah. Anyway, was obsessed with Noah and was too afraid to pursue it because I was like, I don't think he loves me back like that. I think it's just friend vibes, and I could tell, and it was just the most heartbreaking situation for me. But I was living my best life at the same time, and I love that for me. And then when I was a 28, I was a full-time public school teacher in the Bronx, truly living the hardest life I could ever live. That was my grind every single day, waking up at fucking 5:30 in the morning, walking to work from, I think I was a homeowner by that point. So I co-owned a condo in the Bronx. I walked to work every day, would leave work, take the train, take the 4 train or the D train down to Midtown, and I would do improv or sketch and all the comedies at night.
I feel like the theme is almost like you kind of gotta take a big leap, a big step in a way. Really just get out of your comfort zone, see what's out there, and, you know, kind of, in a way, challenge yourself to be like, all right, I'm single, I'm 28, you know,
do the scary things.
Do the scary things. It sounds like you're like, okay, should I get on the apps? It's like, yeah, if you have the thought to go on the apps, maybe go on the apps.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Literally, there's no wrong answer in a way.
There's no wrong answer when you're 28. Also, I feel like, you know, being in a long-term relationship that young, I'm not mad about it because I found the 20s to be, in terms of relationships, I didn't find my 20s to be the most fruitful years. I think dating is more fun in your later 20s to 30s into your 40s because you're less afraid. You're
Totally.
sort of like, and you know yourself better, so you're kind of like, I know what I'm into and I know what I'm not into, and I kind of won't suffer any fools, you know.
100%.
You build up a tolerance to sort of the pain and hardship of dating, and so I don't think you should knock yourself down for having been in a relationship through your 20s. Your 20s are a fucking wash. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, and it's like, you fucking, maybe being in a relationship in your early 20s was what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, clearly it was.
But yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep talking about this on our Wise Ass edition, our extended version of the episode. But for now, that is the end of this ep. Please become a Wise Ass by going to sagebasedwisdom.supercast.com and help support our work. And also, you get more podcasting and comedy from us. So do that. But for now, that's all the time we have. We hope our wisdom made your life better today, but we will not be issuing refunds if it didn't.
If you or anyone you know needs advice, has a question for us, or just wants to chat about something, leave us a message. There are 3 different ways to do that, and you can find them in the show notes, and we'll give you our smudgiest, sagiest, sloppiest solicited advice.
Thank you for tuning in. Please become an official Wise Ass and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. All right, Tokja.
Ogone.